One of the greatest work Frank Gehry has done is the Guggenheim Museum, which was prepared for 4 years and built for 3 years. And this architecture does cause a miracle. In 1997, the first year it had been done, it already had over 13 million visitors and it brought over 450 million economic benefits, which made Bilbao successfully transform itself from declining industry city into one of the best cities in Europe, complete a great rejuvenation of the city. As we all know, Guggenheim Museum has a very curved appearance, and it seems that the way it's built is also different with others.
Yeah.
So can you simply talk about it?
Well, first, I have to say that I don't like this term, the Bilbo effect, because people think this famous effect, they always come to my office and want to hire me to do the Bilbo effect. And when I ask them, like what the program is, what the details of the infrastructure, and like the exact budget of the schedule of the whole construction process, they always like to talk to me like, oh, there's no need to worry about, and they will work out later. So just make this Bilbo effect. I have to admit that I really don't like that, so I always turn those projects down. And Bilbo was a very industrial city, so it was losing its industry, and city was made a conscious business decision, so that is really profitable for the both community and itself.
So what do you think of Guggenheim Museum?
Because of the mathematical intricacy of Guggenheim Museum, so the twisting curves of this building were actually designed by utilizing a three-dimensional design software, and the name of this software is called the CATIA, which allows for those complex designs and calculations that would not have been possible a few years ago, because at that time we don't have those advanced computers or methods. And essentially, this software digitized points on the edges, surfaces, and intersections of my hand-built models to construct on-screen models that can then be manipulated in the manner of animated cartoons. And the walls and ceilings of these buildings are load-bearing and contain the internal structure of the metal rods, which is forming a grid with the triangles, and CATIA calculates the number of the bars required for each location, and as well as the position and orientation of them.
So it seems this software can assist you a lot.
Well, exactly. Software allows me to think big, and I still start a program by sketching and manipulating the physical models. However, when I replicate my sculpture and rhythmic surfaces, which allows the contractors to estimate the cost or the budget of the whole program, and I need to put my design into this software using the CATIA to help me to visualize the whole program and the process.
UTS Business Building, which is one of the Frank Gehry's creation, has become the makings of Sydney landmark. This squash paperback appearance of this building is composed of bricks with spectacular shapes and curved with undulating folds. During the construction process, the engineering manager of Brickworks building said that Frank Gehry was pushing brickwork to its limits. Except for its marvelous facade design, it is also a high-performance, sustainable building. So in your own words, you describe this brick building as your dream building. So can you explain the meaning behind this?
Well, I always think that no matter how many, the creative or beautiful designs works I have done, I approach each program with a new insecurity and a new sense. Instead of following the same traditional pattern and structure design, this building is actually my first Australian building for the UTS. And this building fulfilled an unrealized philosophy of the education and the philosophy of, a tree house. And just because there's an education identity of this business building, I thought about that the students or the teachers who work there, study there, must be prepared in different manners for their future, and it actually fosters their creativity in their future.
Thank you, Gehry. And now we are going to the UTS Business School, which was your design. Let's go.
I think we have all been seeing the outside of this building as it's been unfolding, and when the teachers and students walk inside this building, they will experience the lovely and warm hues of the timber. And this building has fulfilled, so it's basically like my dream house, and has fulfilled an unrealized philosophy of the education for University of the Technology. And based on the idea of the treehouse structure. So I think it's like a treehouse of the social spaces, for the communication and the relationships, which branch into the areas of the discipline and knowledge. So maybe somebody thinks it's just like the brown paper bag, but it's flexible on the inside, and there's a lot of rooms for changes and movement. And in my design brief, I like to say that the form of these faked curves and folds, just like the soft fabric, and the brick will be set in horizontal courses and will, step on cobble to create the shape. So that's roughly like 320,000 bricks in this building, and they are most custom made. So compared with those traditional standard bricks, which are made of those grooves in the middle, and these bricks, it looks special. And based on the crews who worked with construction of the UTS, they think the biggest challenge to design or construct this building is like the special shape and unusual curves in outside. And I've always been fascinated with the folds. So all artists through the ages have spent time on the fold. And I enjoy designing the joints of this fabric. Not only in this building, we are using the Bernese folds to inspire the facade. And I always like to look for ways to express feeling in a building without using those traditional or historic decorations.